Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I hope you guys are doing good. Did you think you came to cooking channel? No, it's my channel. So today I want to talk about what it's like living in Japan as Japanese Brazilian, because I was born and raised in Japan. I can tell you guys through my experiences, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy my video. And if you haven't watched my previous video yet, please watch it. I just made yakisoba, which is Japanese food, by myself. I usually cook by myself. So let me eat that first and then let's talk about it, okay? I got some reactions and comments from my friends as well. People told me like the video was good. I got some inspiration from your videos. That's the thing I really want to do. I want to move people's heart. I want to change people's life through my videos, and I want to do it with using my YouTube channel. So my YouTube content will be about living life in Japan as Japanese Brazilian, and about filmmaking, just showing my traveling as well, and talking about my business as well, how to create company in Japan, how to be freelancer. Some of them are maybe interested about Japan, so I will try to show the true Japan. You can't see the real Japan through traveling, you know. You just stay here 1 week and 2 weeks. I want to show you guys of real things. So if you're interested, please subscribe. And yeah, what I usually do in the morning is take a class, and sometimes I check my stocks charts as well. Today would be a great day. It's been a while I'm working in outside, so I feel I need to wake up my influencer soul, you know. And also holding this camera is too heavy. First of all, I want to talk about my name. Actually, my name wasn't like that before. I was Hideki Muramatsu when I was little. Because of my mom, she decided to put my name Hideki Muramatsu. She didn't want me to get bullied just because of my name, because she already knew there were many foreigners get bullied just because they look like foreigner or because of their names. Also, the reason is because I didn't have Japanese nationality at that time. I only had Brazilian nationalities, and I couldn't put my name Rodrigo Hideki Muramatsu. But 3 years ago, I actually got Japanese nationalities as well. Japan wasn't international country at that time, so it was rare foreigner in Japan. I really appreciate my mom cared about me when I was little. Like, because of that, I didn't get any bullied. I wasn't thinking anything at that time. But Japan is really polite country. People is always respectful. Brazil is opposite. They are so friendly. They are always dancing. They like to have fun a lot. I love both culture. I graduated school in Japan. Actually, I went to Brazilian kindergarten in Japan when I was little. There were so many Brazilians and Japanese Brazilians in that kindergarten. Since I grew up in Japanese school, my native language is changed to Japanese. One day I realized my mom don't speak Japanese perfectly, but at the time I didn't think any weird. This is the most difficult thing for me. When I speak Japanese, I feel like I am truly Japanese, like I am Hideki. I am so polite to people. I always bow many times, like a Japanese do, you know. But when I speak Portuguese, I feel like I'm Rodrigo. I feel like my Brazilian soul wake up. I can be who I am. I can be friendly to many people. It's like there are two personalities in my heart. You know, sometimes when I talk with Japanese, I don't think how they think. Like, Japan is really beautiful country. As you guys know, everywhere is so clean, so organized, but sometimes I feel people force you to be polite a lot. That's why Japan's system works well. That's why Japan is a unique country in this world. I'm just talking about facts here, so don't get me wrong. We are told to be not too crazy. It's not like be the same as everyone, but you know what I mean? We can't be unique. We can't fully express ourselves. We need to follow the rules. We have a lot of rules here. Even I'm speaking here, I can see there is a rule signs here. So that's why I think Japanese people are really good at group sports. There's culture called senpai and kohai in Japan. If they are older than you, they are your senpai. If they are younger than you, they are your kohai. Especially in school, we have that culture strongly. When I was playing soccer with my senpai, I was good enough playing with them, and someone got jealous of me. And people always ask you, how old are you at first? And when they know you are younger than them, they will change. They can change how they react, how they talk to you. I feel it's weird because we are same human. We can't be rude to everyone, right? That's one of the biggest reasons I didn't want to be company employee, because I know there were so many bosses in the company. They will be your senpai in the company. Even if they have no results and I have better results, I have to follow them because they are my senpai. Oh no, I'm worried about audio because today is so windy. I don't know if I can hear my audio. Let's go back to the topic. So that's the reason a lot of people don't like to go work in Japan. You know, we are the same human. We should not see the people from the age. So that's what I feel living in Japan as Japanese Brazilian. And that's the biggest reason I didn't want to be company employee. So I decided to be freelancer and then create my company here. And also, I don't think this senpai kohai culture works in the business situation. We can't judge person by age, right? You have to see his personality, how he is. That's how we get along well. We don't get along well because of age, right? That's just my opinion. Let's talk about differences between Japan and Brazil. Being Japanese Brazilian is such a lucky thing for me. I can see Japan and Brazil from outside perspective, you know. And then in Japan, there are not many poor people here. Poor people and rich people, there are not a lot of gaps. Every people can get stable salary. We can get many things. We can get everything whenever we want. People look so wealthy here. Brazil is not. The gap between of them are really big compared with Japan. When I went to Brazil 3 years ago, I was working in the street. The kid came up to me saying like, please buy chocolate or something to me. And I was so surprised because I never experienced like that in Japan. There's still a big gap between of them. And I felt kind of sad. Through experiences in Brazil, what I felt is Brazilian people are happier than Japanese. It's really interesting, right? Japanese people are more wealthy. Why they don't look like happier than Brazilians? It's because Brazilians are living their life. They're not living their life for working. But here, Japanese people is different. Of course, it depends on the person, but through my experiences growing up in Japan, I felt like people are living their life for working. Even though Brazilians has more or less money than Japanese people, they look happier than them. That's really interesting for me. So through these all experiences, here's what I learned. Japan is easy to live, but hard to truly live. Brazil is opposite, interestingly. Brazil is easy to truly live, but hard to live. That means Japan has a lot of good systems. We have a lot of convenience things here. We have convenience stores, 24 hours, supermarket. There are not many dangerous places. We can go out whenever we want. But you have to follow the rules. It can be helped. We are living in Japan. We have to follow the rules. If you can't follow these rules, you have to leave here. Like you have to be quiet in the train. If you want to live here, you have to know like these rules at least. But in Brazil is opposite. There are a lot of dangerous places. Yeah, hard to live. For me, when I was in Brazil 3 years ago. I couldn't go out just by myself. I always needed to go out with my friends or my family, because if I look like foreigner in Brazil, people always try to steal something. Some people were selling chocolate and some people were singing in the train. I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know, I never experienced like that. Also, at the same time, I feel so proud of myself. I have like these opposite nationalities. Also, when I was in Brazil, I felt like, oh, I came back to my home, speaking with my cousins in Portuguese, meeting with my family in Brazil. But you know what? I didn't feel I am Brazilian. When I came back to Japan, I felt I came back to home as well. Just seeing Japanese signs, seeing Japanese people, hearing Japanese, I felt like, who am I? Where is my home? I tried to be a freelancer. It was crazy. Japanese people become company employee after graduate school. I think 90 or 95% people become like that. I was like, am I crazy for doing this? And also there was no people around me who is freelancer. So I tried to ask freelancer. They always told me, yeah, you should try it. You should try because you have talent. And I was like, yes, probably I'm crazy if I compare with someone, but I should try it once. I should do it. Since I started living as freelancer in Tokyo, I realized I don't need to be same as everyone. I can be who I am. I'm not Brazilian. I'm not Japanese. I am Japanese Brazilian. I am who I am. Japan is my home. Brazil is my home as well. I'm not same as everyone. I realized that. Before that, I was trying to hide. I was trying to be something same as everyone. When I was little, I was trying to hide that I'm Japanese Brazilian. If you are same as me, you don't need to do it. You can be who you are. That's not weakness, that's your strength. And go out, meet with people. This experience will definitely change your life, because I was one of them. I didn't have any courage to leave my country. Since I started traveling alone, my life definitely changed. When I became adult, I'm truly proud of myself. Just feel proud of yourself, okay? This is so chill, yeah? I think I should come here more often. This place is really nice. It doesn't feel like Tokyo. Actually, I can see Tokyo Sky Tree Tower from here. Tokyo is so overcrowded. And probably I might go to Bali this April or May. I will post my vlogs. Maybe I will meet with my friends in Bali as well. I'm so excited. Yes!